Hello everyone, today I'm going to show another video about dipping powder again. And yeah, today she come out with her nail that I will show you that you don't have to wrap her nail off, just file it like very thinly to down to the natural set lay, and then you just dip over it. You don't have to wrap her nail off or anything. Normally I always wrap customer nail off before I dip the new one, but this is I'm gonna show you her nail without wrap her nail off. So this is another trick that you could do it like this too, but before you do this one, you have to make sure that the color that she going to do the new one, it's cover her nail good. So it really depends on the color, what she going to do with the color. So if the color that you could cover with her nail, you could do it without wrap her nail off. So you just like drill it thin to the natural set lay, and then you just leave it like that and then dip the new color on it. Okay, so this is the way I do it. Drill it all the way to the natural set lay. And I'm going to show you with the coffin shape today. She won the coffin shape with the dipping powder. Okay, just keep doing that with the nail. Just drill the color off, and when you drill her color, you have to make sure that all the color is off, only the natural set lay. See that it's just like a clear. So after you drill it off, and then you start to file her nail. Normally I always file the customer nail like I file the shape first before I put the powder on, so this way it's easy and save time. And look, this is the way I file coffin shape. So the coffin shape, it really, you just file side to side, and then on the top it's narrow a little bit, and then make sure it's straight, just like that. And then after I file, I always turn the customer finger to check on it if it's nice or not. That is also my trick too. Like I always do that with every customer after I file, especially when they have long nail. Like not even like long, but this long, you have to turn the customer finger too, to make sure all her nail in a good shape. See? So when you learn to shape, you have to pay more attention with like the way they do, the way they shape it, because it still have so many people that they don't shape it good. If you good, it's good, but a lot of people out there, they don't shape it good yet. Trust me, because I've been doing nail, and then I see a lot of customers come in and they complain about like, oh my god, they don't know how to shape my nail. They just keep complaining. So I don't know where they going to, but it really help a lot of people that they don't shape good out there. So when you learn, you have to pay attention with every little thing. And like I said, doing nail, it really important about shape. Shaping the nail, it really important. If you shape good, the nail look good, but if you don't shape good, no matter good job you do, it's still You know, it's just like people, you know, when you have a thin and sexy body, you know, it look different from you have you know, you fat. Yes. So anyway, yeah, now after I shape, I use the pepper drill to just to drill it to make sure it's smooth and clean up all the cuticle around the nail. See that? Make sure it's very close to the cuticle on the top and then on the side. Everywhere have to be clean. Good. And you keep doing this the whole thumbnail. I see some people, you know, some places they do different technique from me, but for my experience, because the dipping powder came out for 4 or 5 years already, but it still have some customer they walk into my salon with the lifting nail with a lot of problem, and I don't know what they doing out there, but the way I show you in this video, it really make the nail stay, it's not lifting, and you know, it's good. That's why I do the video to share with all this experience that I've been doing it, and it's good, and customer they are so happy, they love my job, and they love everybody in the salon that give them the job. So I think I share with you guys, if you learn and you do good job to customer, I think they also happy with you too. Okay, so one after you file, now you start to dip. So when I already have the natural lay on her nail already, I don't have to do it, so I just dip the color. So the color I do only 4 coat too, I don't have to do 5 coat. It really depends on the powder. Some powder you do book 4, some powder you have to do 5. You know, it really depends on the powder, but when you already have the natural set like this, you could do only 4 or 3. It really depends, you know. So that like I said, it you have to check out with the powder, that some powder it thin, you do 4, some powder that it already thick, you could do only 3, it's fine too. So yes, just when you dip, you have to make sure you put all the base coat all over the nail and make sure don't miss any spot. And for me, I always rather to spend time to dip good for customer than spend time to smooth it. You know what I mean? It's like if you dip the customer nail good and smooth and cover everywhere, you after you dip it, you don't have to spend a lot of time to sit and drill them, because after you dip they already look smooth and nice. So you just shape it a little bit and then drill it, it's just good. Yeah, it's smooth, and then you try to buff it, and this is also the second coat too. So the second coat is almost finished, so you just try to polish base coat really good and dip it. Have to be you have to make sure that everything is full of the nail, and then yeah, and this is the third coat, which is counting with the natural set. It consider is the 4 coat. So for her nail, I always do 5 coat for her, because she used her hand so much, and also her nail a little bit long too, so I tip her for 4 coat. With the natural set it's 5 coats. And also my trick is, whenever I do the 3rd coat and then the last 2 coat, I always finish one finger first and then I put the sealer. So this way, one hand, when I finish the other hand, this hand dry. Okay, so this is the 5 coat, and then I put the sealer. This is the sealer to make the nail dry. So the sealer is really important. If you don't put the sealer, the dipping powder will never dry. Okay, so when I finish that, the sealer, I just let her dry a little bit, and then I switch to this hand. I dip it the coat number 4. So try to make sure everything good, smooth, the side, the front, everywhere, and dip the powder. Yeah, and then this is the last coat. See that? So when you put the base coat, normally I always make sure that the base coat it have a lot of I take a lot of the base coat. This way the powder it stick on a little bit more, but not too much, just to make sure that the powder stay good. And then now I put the sealer on it. This is a sealer coat. And then let her dry. So now the other hand is dry, so I start to shape it, coffin shape. So like I told you before, the coffin shape, you have to shape from the side first, the left side, the right side, and then on the top, and make sure in the front it narrow a little bit, narrow than the square shape. So this kind of shape is really important because it's so popular that so many people get this kind of shape done. So it's really good that you know how to shape. It's good. And I will make a video about put the tip on and do the dip. It's so many people out there, they're not good with it either, about like put the tip on and then do the dip on it. Some people, they don't do good job at all. And I don't know why. It's like I said, customer keep complaining like the nail like too big, too thick, and the shape's not good. You know, they complain a lot, which is I think about like doing the video about how to do the dipping powder with the extension. You know, for her, this all her real nail, and she do with the coffin shape. So when you learn to do all these kind of nail, it's not only one time and then you know how to do it. It's like when you know, you have to know all the trick to make it good too. See that when I turn customer hand, when I turn it over, it's like some shape it's not good yet, so I have to refile it. So after I file, I always use the small drill to clean it underneath. And it's really important because almost every customer, they love you to clean up the underneath good for them, because when the underneath you clean it up good, the nail smooth, they don't pick on it. So when they don't pick on it, the nail it's not lifting easy either. But if you don't clean it up good for them, some people they keep picking on the cuticle, picking on the nail that it's not smooth, and then that is the reason that make the nail lifting quick too. So you have to make sure that you clean all around the cuticle good and underneath good too. When it's smooth, it's not bother them, they're not picking, the nail also stay longer too. And most of the time when I give customer for the dipping powder, it lasts so long, at least 3 weeks. But I have some customer they come back every 2 weeks, but you know, they just could go for 3 or 4 weeks, and some customer they go for 5 weeks too. But I don't recommend you to keep for a long time, like 4 or 5 weeks. I don't recommend, because your nail you need to clean it and replace it. You cannot just like just having the nail. It's not about having the nail on, it's about like your nail look pretty. So if you want them to look pretty, you have to come back at least 3 weeks, 1 in 3 weeks, or you know, either 2 weeks. If you could afford it, 2 weeks it's good, or 3 weeks. But if it's 4 or 5 weeks, it's it a little bit too much. It's not look nice anymore. It need to redo it. Okay, so I clean up underneath, I clean up around the cuticle, make sure everything is clean and smooth. This way customer not picking on the cuticle. Okay. Alright, so after I clean all that, I use the smoother to smooth it just very little, because her nail I dip it like 4 times plus the natural set that I left it over there. It 5 coat, so it kind of a little bit thick. So I use this drill to drill it off, like to drill it down a little bit, to make the nail it a little bit thin. Because sometimes when you dip it a little bit thick, or the shape doesn't look good, you could just use this drill to drill it first. Yeah, and when I drill, I don't drill it much. I drill it just very little, just to shape the nail smooth, and take off very little, because the dipping powder is more soft than acrylic. If you do it strong, hot, it come off a lot. So you have to make sure that you drill it gently, and how much amount that you want to take off, you kind of know. So take it gentle and take just little from that off, and smooth it, and make sure the nail it's like you scrape it from the side to side, and make sure on the middle of the nail it kind of like higher than the side. So this way the shape of the nail it looks good, and when you look at it, it look like turtle. The turtle, it's like the top it's high, and on the side it curve both sides. Okay, after that I use the paper one to smooth it again. This is also the finished one too. And sometimes if I dip the nail already thin and smooth and good, I use only the paper one to drill it only one time and then buff. But her nail a little bit thick, so I just use the other one to scrape it off a little bit, and then I use this drill to smooth it more. Yeah, and it really like when you know all the trick, it really simple. The dipping powder it easy to do than acrylic. Acrylic is more harder because you have to build the nail, and the dipping powder you don't have to. You just dip it with the jar, and then the nail just come out with the shape and all those stuff. Good, you don't have to build anything. Yeah, so it almost done. Yeah, normally when I do the dipping powder, I always spend at least 45 minutes, 50 minutes or to an hour. You know, I take a long time. I heard some people they do quicker than that, which is I cannot do that. If I do just only 30 minutes to finish the dipping powder, I mean I could finish it, but I don't think it come out with a good job, you know. That's why I just cannot do it, because all my customer they kind of know and they picky. And if you know, if you don't give them a good job, they still, you know, they still asking you to do here and there for them. So I just cannot do all those. I have to make sure everything good for them, smooth and nice, and then they happy, walk out with happy nail, you know. See, after I drill it, I have to shape it a little bit to make sure everything good, clean, smooth. Yeah, then turn the nail, make sure everything good. Yeah, when I turn it, I feel like it's not good, it need to be fixed. I fix it immediately, make sure everything good before they complain. Yeah, so this is the last one, the buff. So buff the nail, I always buff the top first, and then the side, and then the front. The top, the side, the front. Yeah. So after you buff, you kind of like clean up the cuticle here and there, and then top coat. Okay, so now clean up the cuticle here and there. Just clean up the one that really needed. Normally when it dry like that, it's a little bit hard to cut too. But we not cut it like a lot like a real manicure. If they want to cut a lot like a manicure, we have to you know, do some more job. But normally we don't give that. Okay, so after you clean up the cuticle, it's time to do the top coat. But this is before you do the top coat, you have to put the sealer first. The coat number 3, we call it the sealer. So put it one coat. Make sure the nail is dry good. And then you put the top coat. That's it. So the top coat, normally I always give 2 top coat, because one top coat, it doesn't look shiny. I mean, it's shiny, but when I give customer 2 top coat, it always, you know, it stay a lot better. That's why I always make sure that I wanna the shine it stay better, so I rather to give them 2 top coat. Okay, it's almost the end of the video. Thank you for watching my video, and please have to subscribe if you don't subscribe for my channel yet. And I will take some more time to do video as much as I can to show you more trick about nail. And if you want to know something, you could just like leave me the comment underneath, and I will do more video for you what you want. Okay, yeah, this is finished. Dipping powder with Coffin Shape. See that? Thank you so much, guys, and you have a wonderful day. Thank you. Bye bye.